Dans la main, camarade, main dans la main pour Feyenoord 1. Pas des mots mais des actes, vive Feyenoord 1. Je m'appelle Erwan. J'ai grandi à Versailles et je vis à Paris. La plupart des gens ici supportent le Paris Saint-Germain, arborent des maillots de Neymar ou de Cavani. Pour moi, non. Il n'y a qu'un club. Pas de Paris Saint-Germain, d'Olympique Lyonnais ou d'Olympique Marseille. Ici, c'est Feyenoord. So a lot of people ask me why I support Feyenoord all the time. When I go to the Netherlands or when I share my love about Feyenoord, but it traces back from I think 2002 when I first saw pictures on TV during the highlights of Feyenoord reaching the final of the UEFA CUP in 2002, and the final of the UEFA CUP was the first match of Feyenoord I've seen ever on TV, and it was like we could say the beginning of a love story. After the UEFA Cup, I started to read as many things I could find about Feyenoord, and I felt a bit more became a bit more fanatic every day, all the time, because of all the story and all the particular club culture there at Feyenoord. And it was very different than of Paris Saint-Germain, which is more a club of it's nothing to do with Feyenoord. There's not as much passion or as much dedication, history. It's Paris Saint-Germain is a really new club. Actually, it's only 40 years old or something. It's a question which team is the most similar to Feyenoord is a really common question. Everybody got his own answer, but I think it's totally stupid to try to compare like Feyenoord to another club. Like Feyenoord is unique, and every club is quite unique, but especially Feyenoord. And maybe you have a bit of spirit of eerste, which is a really working class club with a lot of families going to the matches. You have a bit of passion with the history, with Saint-Étienne, and you have a bit of the harbor mentality and a multicultural city for Olympique de Marseille. And in France, especially, Feyenoord has a bad picture because of the riots in Nancy in 2006. And at that time, I was still a teenager, and I wanted to go to Nancy. And my dad said, "Yeah, no, I don't think it's a good idea," because I think himself, he was thinking that Feyenoord supporters were hooligans or something. And most of the people in France, they always think Feyenoord supporters are hooligans. It's a bit like when you say you're a Feyenoord supporter. They are like, yeah, you are hooligans, don't you? Say, no, not really. When there was a terrorist attack in Paris in 2015, and it was really close to my house, and even I could have been maybe killed. It's a bit maybe big something to say. I could be, but it could be me, because it could be a lot of people. It was just in a casual, normal place where like everyday places where everybody was going. So after this attack, a lot of Feyenoord supporters, maybe I had only met once in Varkenoord or something, and they all send me messages to say to know if I was if I was doing good, and it means something at that time. You feel that like that your kameraden, they are there and they think about you. And yeah, and even one friend from FRFC, he makes sure that I could come for the next match to Cape to think about something more cheerful. And I was there in the Cape with my Feyenoord Feyenoord Frankrijk flag I've made. And yeah, I was doing the minute of silence with it. Yeah, it was I would say a very special moment. It was a kippenvel moment. Yeah, and some supporter helped me to raise it, so it was really a strong and a deep, I don't know how to say, emotional moment. Finally, my hoogtepunt is maybe I think is a goal of the own goal of Veldman in the beker against the Snavels. It was like totally unexpected, and all the emotion because of so many years of nothing doing against them, and always worrying that they will score at least a goal, because they are scoring at least a goal for maybe like 20 years or something in the Cape every time, and all the emotion going like through in just 1 second or something. It was so intense. For me, the celebration was maybe for I don't know, 10 minutes long or something. But actually it was only 1 minute, but it was like you know, at that moment you don't have any more consciousness of the time or everything. You are just you're just having the time of your life or something. Especially with the Megadoek. It was after the match, and You Never Walk Alone, all the songs. It was just so special as well. And the first goal of Keut against Heracles was the kampioenswedstrijd. It was nice as well, but I was not in the stadium, so maybe it's why for me it's a bit different. But still, it was I was in the hideaway, and it was crazy, but it was not the same because you were expecting, and it was just at the beginning of the match. So after the goal, you are okay. I cannot celebrate already because we can still be fucked up, and after all, you know, it's Feyenoord, so we can still be disappointed, and we never know when. Yeah, for best trip with Feyenoord, I think Manchester was against United was a pretty good one. I remember when I came back from Manchester, and my friends were like, "How was it to be in Manchester?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was like being on holidays with 7,000 friends, you know." So it was a bit crazy to be in this city with so many supporters. It was really crazy to be there in a bar with all the people and to walk to the stadium with 5,000 people. Yeah, you felt really connected with all the fellow Feyenoorders. When I go to Feyenoord, I woke up really early in the morning, maybe at 6 or something. Wow. And I have to go to leave at my home at 7 in the morning to go to the station to take the train. And I like it when it's in the winter time, because then you leave and it's still really quiet, you know. And on Sunday morning, who's waking up so early in the morning, and with the darkness in the street, it's a really particular atmosphere. And then I take the train around 8 or something, and I arrive in Rotterdam at 11. And the first thing I always watch when I'm in the train, and it's getting closer to Rotterdam, it's to watch on the right, and you see the Cape. And then I'm like, yeah, it's getting closer and closer. Then I just take the tram and I go straight to the Cape. And yeah, every time it's the same feeling, like the first time, you know. You see the floodlights daar in de verte.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
Les gens me prennent souvent pour un fou, que je voyage autant juste pour 90 minutes de football. Mais Feyenoord, c'est bien plus que 90 minutes d'un match de foot. C'est l'amour pour une ville, Rotterdam, les gens qui y vivent. C'est le bar où on rejoint ses amis pour boire quelques verres avant un match. C'est 4 projecteurs qu'on distingue à l'horizon. L'excitation, puis ça n'a plus d'importance, d'où on vient, de Rotterdam-Zuid, Groningen, Capelle, ou encore de Paris. On est alors tous à égalité, main dans la main, pour une seule chose, notre Feyenoord. Ici, c'est Feyenoord.